Hi, Lee. It's really nice to meet you, and I appreciate you coming in for services today. Before we get started, I just wanted to check and see if you had any questions for me about anything.
Um, no, I know my mom signed me up for this, and when she told me about what it was, she said motivational interviewing, and so I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I don't normally have clients that come in and ask that, but I'll just give you kind of like a brief picture of what it is. There's a lot of components to it, but I would say like the main thing is really about partnership. So basically, there's two of us that play a role in the process of services, and my part, I'm the licensed social worker, so I've been through school. I have, my expertise that I can bring into our relationship. But your part, which is just as important, we're supposed to be, equals in this situation, is to bring in your own expertise about yourself. Nobody in this world knows you the way that you know yourself, and so it's really about tapping into that and being collaborative and working together to kind of come to a place that you want to go instead of me telling you what you need to do, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So, your mom had referred you for services, and so I just kind of wanted to get an idea about what's been going on. So if you could just tell me a little bit about what's been going on.
Well, I will say that if I was of age and could make my own decisions, I would probably not be here. Just a downfall of living at home with your parents, I guess. I'm now a freshman in high school. I'm basically an adult, and my friends and I have started to smoke weed on the weekends and hang out and do normal, teenager stuff. And my mom and dad, well, my mom mostly, my dad doesn't really care about anything, but my mom thinks it's the absolute end of the world, that it's only downhill from here. I'm going to ruin my life. And I can't help but think that she's a hypocrite for the fact that she's openly told me that she's done it as a kid, around my age, and that my dad also has done it at my age and continues to do it periodically. So I don't understand the position of grounding me or getting me in trouble for something that they did.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. You feel conflicted because you're doing something that they have told you openly, that they've done. So you're like, well, if you do it, then why can't I do it? Is that kind of like how you feel about the situation?
Yeah.
Okay. So could you maybe like tell me about what are some of the advantages, some of like the positive things that you feel that you get from smoking?
Well, I just I self-diagnosed myself, I guess, with anxiety. Just a lot of things go on at home, and so sometimes smoking helps with that. And then I have not had the easiest time making friends. So being in a circle of people and having individuals want to be around you is new to me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see how that would be a benefit. You feel like you've been struggling to make friends, and so once this has been brought into the picture, it's been easier to kind of make friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I know you said that that's something positive. What are maybe some of the negative things? I know you mentioned briefly like your mom and having difficulty there.
So I would say the biggest issue that my mom and I butt heads about is the fact that I have two younger brothers in the house, and the idea of either one of them getting into it, and they're too young to mess with that stuff. So that's a big issue. And then sometimes I mentioned, it helps with anxiety, and then other times I will smoke and it gives me the opposite effect, full-blown panic attack, anxiety. And I've noticed that really only happens when the time that I smoke and the time that I'm around my mom or my family kind of collide, because I don't like to fear that she's gonna bust me out or get me in trouble for smoking.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting because I know you said previously that you kind of do it as a way to manage anxiety, but then also it seems like it's kind of been a source of anxiety recently.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I know you also mentioned your younger brothers. It seems like you care a lot about them and being a good role model for them.
Yeah, that's a position I more or less didn't have a choice in filling. You know, just with the way that things are at home, I try to keep the peace and take care of them when I can.
Yeah, that's awesome. That it's very clear that you love them and want to be a positive influence for them. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most likely, how would you rank yourself in terms of like motivation to change the behaviors?
So you're asking voluntarily on a scale of 0 to 10 how likely I am to want to stop smoking weed.
Correct.
I honestly 1.5 maybe.
Okay, so what makes you a 1.5 and not like a 0?
The fact that my mom has a point and my younger brothers being there, and like you said, being a good role model is important. It's something I want to do. I just also want that balance of having friends and my own life and freedom.
Okay. So what are some things maybe that you could do to kind of minimize the conflict that's going on at home? That's
Well,
kind of common.
I've tried to negotiate like an adult with my mom and talk to her about different ways that we can minimize conflict and both win. And I've talked about just maybe smoking with my friends when I'm not around the house or at the house and doing it on my own free time. She didn't like that idea at all. Still, that's where I wouldn't have it in her house. Still not good enough. So, I mean, I could always suck it up and lose friends and just wait till I'm old enough to be out of the house and make my own decision then.
Yeah. Okay. So you came in to me today, not on your own will because your mom referred you in, and it seems like there's a lot of advantages that you've been experiencing from smoking, but also a lot of disadvantages that have been coming as well. So you brought up a lot of really good ideas, I think, and I think that we can definitely explore some of those in our future sessions, but it looks like today we're out of time. So it was really good getting to know you, and I appreciate you being open and honest with me today.
Did not have a choice, but thank you.